So next month, my pickleball partner, Leo, and myself, we have a tournament coming up. So we reached out to Kareem and Brian for some match play. All the games that you're about to watch, it's us versus them. After the games are over, I'm going to give you my thoughts upon what our weaknesses are, what our pros are, how I think things went, and what can be improved. So before we get there, enjoy the games. So the biggest thing that should stick out after watching me play there is the fact that when it comes to my forehand side, I speed up almost everything. Now, at face value, that might seem like the worst decision possible. And first, let me explain how I got there. Got there as in like why I speed everything up. For the majority of my pickleball career, I guess you could say, I've kind of always dealt with a situation where I am normally iced out when I'm at the non-volley zone. So if I were to get the ball, when I'm up there, I normally almost feel obligated to have to do something with it, because if I just dinked it over, I've always felt that, or it commonly would be, that I wouldn't see that ball again for a couple of shots. So I would almost always try to make a play out of any ball that came to my forehand side when I'm at the non-volley zone. And because of that, I've practiced that shot so much that even when I'm playing with a great partner and against great players, I'm still kind of going to do that because it's just ingrained in me, even though I get face value, not the best decision. But as Kareem said, and I agree with him, in this particular matchup, that worked. And the fact that I kept doing it was the right decision. Let's remind ourselves, when we play pickleball, we're not playing pickleball, we're playing against our opponents. Every opponent has a pro and a minus to their game. Things they do great, things they do not do so great. In this particular matchup, my speed ups were working. If I was constantly getting punished on those speed ups and I kept doing that, that would have been a poor decision. But that was not the case. Net for net, we came out ahead by the fact that I was speeding up as many balls as I was. Were there instances when I was getting punished on those speed ups? Of course there were. But there were more points where it actually benefited us. Let's talk a little bit about my opponents. Kareem has a great backhand counter. I realized soon after that if I were to engage with his backhand side with my backhand, I would come out a loser. His technique is simply a lot more crisper on his backhand counters. He has a flick, he keeps his paddle out in front. Very little wind up, nothing. He goes right at me. My backhand counter on the flip side requires much more of a wind up. It's got a little bit of a roll ingrained into it. Not so great against someone who has a very flicky backhand. I noticed that right off the bat. That told me, even to the point where I would minimize the amount of times I would speed it up to that backhand. What I did instead is, because I know that he's so prepared for that backhand, he's so good with it, I began focusing on his forehand side. As you can see in all these points here, I'm intentionally going to his forehand side because I know he has a great bias to his backhand, and that was the right decision, which goes back to my first point. Always play your opponents. I might play an opponent that actually favors his forehand side when he's on the right side, right? The situation might be completely different. In that case, speeding it up to the backhand would be the better decision. Now, things that Leo and myself could do better as a team. As you can see in all these points here, there's these uncomfortable situations where we kind of get in the way of one another in the middle of the court. We should give up that middle to the person on the left in the majority of the situations. There's almost very little times when we should be dinking with the backhand on the right side. You always see the pros covering the left side, covering that specific spot. We are not doing too great on that. We have to be a lot quicker on that because we're essentially pushing the other one out of the middle sometimes to hit that backhand thing. That doesn't make any sense. Again, this is something that I do. I would have to say, out of all these clips, I do it worse than Leo. You know, I'm kind of trying to control that middle of the backhand. It makes no sense. Leo has a great forehand. I have to give it to him. Now, throughout this game, Brian had a great cross-court drop to my backhand. There was one particular game I remember I had to really adjust to it, and I noticed this little issue that I have with my backhand. It's come up in other games in the past, which is the fact that I wait till last moment, and then I end up essentially doing like a short hop on the backhand side, which makes no sense, and it's always very vulnerable to being poached, that specific shot. Now, what's happening there, in my opinion, is that I have a really good forehand roll. I reach in very well and very aggressive on that forehand side. When that ball is coming to me, my mind is still in that mode where it's like I can work with this ball. I can be aggressive with this, but it's not until the very last moment that I realize it's coming to my backhand, and I'm not as comfortable or confident, more importantly, to take that of the backhand. So I let it drop, but then it kind of jams me, and I'm in a bad situation. As you see in this clip here, that's the right decision. If I'm not going to be taking it out of the air, A, make the decision earlier, and B, take one step back and be aggressive off the bounce. That's the right way to do it. And I often do that. I do take a step back, but then there's many instances when I do not. That usually comes to the fact that if I'm at the line already, I'm more likely to do that short hop backhand, which is a bad decision. So I've got to realize that. and make a decision much sooner. A shot that I'm really comfortable with, I've really noticed, is this inside out forehand drop. Similar to kind of how Brian does it on me, I like doing it on people because it very often ends up creating this little backhand dinking exchange, which I'm really comfortable dinking my backhand side. I just love playing that left hand side because I really like backhand dinking, speeding up with my two hands and covering the middle. I'm always waiting to launch to that middle to cover any speed ups. I just like playing that side tremendously, and I feel that when I have that inside out dink, it almost forces my opponents to a point to have to engage with me, and I'm able to kind of control that point a bit more since I'm so comfortable on that side of the court. Now, granted, if my drop obviously is poor, then in this case, my partner Leo would get punished, from any sort of like put away or speed up. A few weeks ago, I was speaking to somebody, and they told me they're looking for a partner, but they need someone that's more passive because they're too aggressive. And they feel that if they play with someone more passive, it's a good matchup. But I actually think the opposite. I think the reason why Leo and I are a good team is because we have the same state of mind in terms of he is as aggressive as I am, and vice versa. When he's comfortable moving forward, I'm also comfortable. If I'm comfortable moving forward, he is as well, right? If he's going for a drive, I'm moving up. I'm going for a drive, he's moving up, right? We do not have this disconnect. I feel that normally if you play with a partner that is very different in terms of aggression level, you can have this massive disconnect where one of you is constantly way up ahead compared to the other one. And that essentially makes it easier for your opponents to target one or the other. When it comes to Leo and myself, I think we're on the same page of that, and that makes us a stronger team. Now, if you have any additional feedback for our games, I'd love to hear about it. This will likely be my last video for 2024. I'm going away for a few weeks to see some family. When the tournament does happen, it's like mid-January. I plan to cover every single game individually and commentate it. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. For those of you this year that have watched and liked and subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. And for those of you who have played on the court, all the games are always a blast. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys out there.